Once again, I'm back in my studio, also known as my van, for another unboxing. This one I am most excited about opening. I mean, they're all pretty neat opening brand new stuff, but this one I'm really keen because I spent a lot of time deliberating which unit to go for, which combi unit, and obviously it influenced all the other bits that I got, and I spent a lot of time, which I'll probably go over in a later date why I chose this particular combi unit. But I really did a lot of research, a lot of thought went into it, yeah, so let's unbox it and take a look. So I'll just get my knife, hold on a second. I don't know why I don't just cut these and then come back, or why I try and film cutting, but I don't know. Okay, I think this is... Okay, hold on a second. Not sure whether I've tackled that the right way, because that was a tough box to get into, but there you go. That's it, that's all that's in there. There's that piece. Right, let me just take it out and you can see what was in the box. So there's it out of the box. There's not much to it at all, but I wasn't expecting there to be an awful lot in it. A strange thing is, I noticed, I wonder if you've noticed it too, something I mentioned in one of the other videos about the saving weight of these things. The other one, the pruner, had 7 books in it, 7 operators. This has just got the one. Nothing else in the box. Strange that they could do it with that. There's obviously a reason, but wonder what it was, wonder what it is. It's also becoming clear now which way the attachments should be going in, and which, as you saw earlier, which is up, if you did look at those videos. But yeah, something else as well that I will be, I don't know, which came with the hedge trimmer attachment. I'll probably mount that as well. But yeah, there it is. And I shall assemble it now. So again, it gives you some general information about the trimmer, the unit, sorry, and then on page 11 the assembly starts, and really all there is this loop handle. But I'm going to have to, what I think I might do actually is I'll fit the handle for you, as in case you just want to see the handle go on, and then I will fit that attachment, which will mean on doing that, but I'll do it as per the instructions, and I'll put that other bit on later and show you how it goes. So really that's all there is, fitting the loop handle. I'll put it on and show you. So I didn't say what the item was. Obviously it's their multi-tool unit. It's 525 LK. I've got the catalogue here. That's that one there. And their recommended retail price is £335. I paid £252 for it, and again it was from F.R. Jones and Son. Show you the underneath of it. back of it. See, a few people complain about a couple of things on the internet about it. Is that it's kind of it turns slightly from the handle, and I've seen a few people moan about that, and that's obviously to help reduce the vibration. When they were describing it, I wasn't sure whether they thought that it hadn't been tightened up correctly or something, but it was clear from when you read it that that's kind of to reduce, you know, fatigue in the wrist, and isolate vibrations, I suppose. The the other thing I've seen a few make videos and moan about is the trigger, and the fact that you can flex it like that. Really, the idea is the reason that it can flex is so it doesn't break. There's a lot of give in it, and I felt that those couple of criticisms weren't justified. They've done it for a reason. It feels fairly sturdy. It's obviously got a lot of give, so it can sustain flex before it breaks. So I felt they were unjustified in that. But there you go. I'm going to put the loop handle on now and mess around with the attachments. So first things first, and there's not much to it, but I just wanted to, I'm really just being picky. Obviously the handle has got a slight curve to it, okay? I like that, I like the feel of this. But just wanted to show you in the instructions. Now obviously they make this unit is for combi tools, but they make it with a fixed shaft where it would have a strimmer attachment to it, for example. So the first thing it says is, clip the loop handle onto the shaft. Note that the loop handle must be fitted between the arrows on the shaft, right? Obviously, that is more, I suppose, where they're strimmers, where they'd have the two. The only reason I'm mentioning it is only one on this. I know it's not rocket science. It's really easy, you know, to work out, but you could say, so what I'm trying to get at is in the picture it doesn't show which end is which, so that could be the trimmer head and that could be the unit up this end, or vice versa. It doesn't show you that. I know it's being a bit, let's say, pedantic, but it's still, you could have somebody put that on the wrong way round because it doesn't show you, or even if you had the unit where there's two arrows, it doesn't show you. I know it's that way round, pretty sure. And but yeah, just thought I'd point that out. So I'm going to put it on now anyway. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this. So what you've got is this screw. You put this washer into there, this goes through, and then, so did I show you that correctly? That washer goes in there, then that goes through the washer, and then you've got this nut which goes underneath, and let's see if I can do this one-handed. Put it in there. Yeah, see that? Pushed it in my thumb, and then you tighten through. Put the washer in, then tighten through. And I've just been sitting there and I've just been turning for ages, and so this doesn't, you know, this is not long enough. It's not reaching this, which it wasn't reaching a nut. I thought, oh, this isn't, you know, a bit pants, but what you've got to do, right, is what I had to do was get a screwdriver and push that right in. I'm going to have to, because it goes in quite a way, but you think that's it as far as it goes, but it doesn't. Let's see if I can do it. I'm just going to hold it a sec, push it. So yeah, make sure that's all the way in. As you can see, it recesses quite a bit, otherwise that piece won't reach it. And it's, like I say, you've got to give it quite a push. And like I say, I was just spinning my wheels for a couple of minutes there, thinking that, you know, it's not long enough. But yeah, you've got to really sink that home. So all done, all on. So obviously I've got to be able to adjust it up and down for a good fit for me, but like I say, we're sinking that nut fully home. It went on nice and easy, and there's like a spacer you slide in as well, but this handle feels great. So now I'm going to fit, just a couple of things I like about, which obviously lots of other people have spoken about, but like it's very easy to use. That this stop always reverts back to run, so that a lot of them have an on-off toggle switch, so you put it in the off and then you're coming back and cranking this for ages and then realising, oh, I've left it in the off position. I like that, and it really do like, so far I've only used the hedge trimmer, but I was very impressed by Husqvarna, how they compare to other units, power wise, user friendliness, being well made. They seem to go on, but you know, tend to be cheaper than the the other big brands like Stihl. I find they compete quite well with them. So yeah, there you go. So with the unit now assembled, I'll just go over some of its features, and straight off the bat is this always return to run stop switch. Now, I've said it in a previous video and I'm saying it in this one, I don't know why this isn't the default type switch for all kinds of gardening equipment. It's so simple, it's extremely effective, and I just can't understand why the rocker switch type isn't made obsolete by this. Now, I know it's not rocket science to make sure the switch is in the correct run position, but this just does away with that, and I love it. I think it's brilliant. So let's talk about the stop switch location. Now, if you're familiar at all with the excellent Husqvarna 122 HD, then you'll no doubt be aware of the clever ambidextrous location of the stop switch. It's absolutely brilliant. So why not do the same here? It's not that it's particularly difficult to thumb, it's just nowhere near as naturally located, and I actually found it more comfortable to thumb holding it by my left hand. Unsure to the raised fin you see here, but I assume that it's to protect the actual stop switch from bumps and knocks. Here I'm attempting to demonstrate the machine's vibration damping system, which reduces the transfer of vibrations between the engine and the machine's handle, and it does its job quite effectively. But I've seen this singled out for unfair criticism by users who obviously were unsure as to what Husqvarna was setting out to achieve with this design, thinking instead that perhaps the unit left the factory without the handle being correctly tightened up. This is incorrect, and the damping system does work well at reducing unwanted vibrations, especially with prolonged use. Here I'm demonstrating the throttle trigger lockout, and it's to prevent accidental operation of the throttle control. I think it's an industry standard, but it's a clever, neat design and only allows the trigger to be operated when you grasp the handle. Now, to single out the trigger for some more scrutiny, simply because I've watched a couple of reviewers describe it as flimsy, the reality is that it isn't at all flimsy. In fact, the material it's made from allows it to be quite flexible and therefore has a lot of give and an absorbing quality, making it a far better option than the rigid and sometimes brittle characteristics of plastic. I find it very comfortable to use for long periods, and I like the design. It's very comfortable. Despite the underside of the handle having this nice, grippy, almost rubberized material, Husqvarna have to have a rethink and have a go at creating a seamless join for where the operator has to actually hold onto the machine. The edges where the two sides of the handles meet irritated me, especially after prolonged use. Now, to be fair, this wasn't a problem if I wore gloves, which you should be wearing when operating this machine. But that still doesn't get away from the fact that it's a bit naff and these joins need tidying up. This is your choke control then, a nice basic robust design that is simple to use with pull out for choke and push back in for no choke. Located below this choke control is what Husqvarna refers to as the air purge, but what you and I know is actually the primer bulb. This is the fuel tank sitting neatly tucked in below the machine, and it takes just over half a litre of two-stroke mix. To get at the air filters inside, to give them a clean, you should loosen the air filter cover retaining screw, pop the choke control up and remove the filter cover. Husqvarna recommend that the filters should be cleaned after 25 hours of use. They also recommend that the filters are replaced at regular intervals, although unlike the 25 hours, they don't give an indication as to what they consider a regular interval. Behind this cover is the muffler, located in a way as to direct the exhaust fumes away from the user. Your combi tool can be used to remove the muffler cover, and this is what it looks like with the cover removed. Like me, you'll probably be happy to learn that the muffler is fitted with a catalytic converter. The muffler is also fitted with a spark arrestor, which you can see here, which Husqvarna say is for countries that have a warm, dry climate. They recommend that this mesh is cleaned at regular intervals, as a blocked mesh will cause the engine to overheat. Here is the loop handle with that lovely grippy soft material that I like very much. Please note though that the shaft of my unit is fitted with a couple of other accessories that only come with certain combi attachments. These are the harness support hook for the pole saw and the handguard for the hedge trimmer. Lastly, here's a close-up of the shaft coupling. If you're of the mindset that a tool is a tool and you don't care what it looks like so long as it gets the job done, then you should probably skip this bit. But for those of us who can appreciate a well-designed piece of equipment, then the following montage is for you. I hope, like me, you can appreciate the level of design, those clean lines and the attention to detail the designers have achieved. For a combi unit, this really is aesthetically pleasing. Compare it to the Honda Versatile, the Echo Multi-Tool, the Makita Split Shaft, the Mitox 5-in-1 or the Steel Combi, and you'll see what I mean. So that's it from me for this particular post, but if you liked it, you can watch me open and assemble 5 attachments for this particular engine. And perhaps you might find my other gardening equipment videos useful. Bye for now.